how to weatherproof your eyebrows for mature women. So if you're new here, welcome. My name is Kathleen and I create content for mature women who like simple, effective, easy skincare and hair care routines. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, please consider subscribing. If you're like me and your eyebrows disappear as soon as you do them, especially in the summer months or really just any time of year, if you just rub your eyebrow and you happen to go look in the mirror a couple hours later and you realize you don't have any brow, like half of your brow is gone, you believe me, you're not alone. And so in today's video, I'm gonna show you what you can do to weatherproof your eyebrows so that they'll stay on the entire day. And just to give you some context, I normally don't have any brows, but I recently just had them micro powdered, so I do have brows. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna weatherproof one brow, and then the other one I'm not gonna weatherproof. I'm gonna show you how easy the one is to wipe off and how the other one, the one I weatherproof will stay and last the entire day, even if you take your fingers and rub. So if you're somebody who puts your foundation on first, make sure you go in there and you have primer on. If you have anything like that, just make sure you go in there with a wipe and clean down your brows. Just rub it across the top and clean them down. Yeah, see, like me, I have foundation on there. And that will just break down the liner and just cause it to kind of smudge. And just make sure they're completely dry before you go in there with anything else. Go in there with a long-wearing weatherproof brow pencil. I'm gonna be using this one here from Precisely My Brow. This is one of my favorite brow pencils. And go in there and just fill in the sparse areas or fill it in like you normally would. Yeah, I'll weatherproof my bad brow. And the other brow I'll just do normally as I would. That's gonna be this one here. This one here is my good brow, and I'm just gonna fill it in. So just go in, fill it in the way you normally would. You can see even with the microblading, it's still, this brow is very, it's just very sparse. Okay, so you went in and you filled them in like you normally would. Next, you're gonna go in there with a tinted brow gel. This one here is from Pixi and it is called, what is it called? It is the Natural Brow Duo. You can see this has a liner on the one side, and then over here it has the colored brow gel in it. And go in there and brush your hair up with it. You want to set that brow in place with the same colored brow gel on your lashes there. Okay, you're going to go in, you're going to let that set. Now you're going to want to let that go in and completely dry before you go in there with the next step. And the next step is I'm going to go in there and I'm going to go in there with a clear brow gel now. And what these gels do is they really set that brow in place so that when you go and rub your eye, it won't come off. As opposed to just using, and this is a weatherproof pencil, but it just needs more, and you need more to hold it in place, especially when it's humid out. So I'm gonna take this clear brow gel. Yeah, this is from Make Beauty. This is the Infinite Hold Sculpting Brow Gel, and this is clear. Wait for this to dry. I'm gonna go in there and I'm going to go in there again with another clear coat. Make sure you get those ends too. A lot of times we pull our ends off without knowing it. And just keep brushing it up. Once everything is dry, resist going in there and rubbing the brows. And the one thing that I love about these brow gels is that it feels very stiff. So you really have a tendency not to touch them because it just feels very hard for some reason. As opposed to the one where I just have the pencil on it, I'm more prone to just kind of like maybe wiping sweat away there and taking the brow off. If you're going to the beach or you have a wedding or you're gonna be spending a long time outdoors in the heat, this is one of the best ways I know to keep those brows in place. I do it all the time. For those of you who don't know, I have a bridal hair and makeup company, and a lot of the brides that I do want to have their ceremonies outside. So they're in the heat and they're under a lot of stress. And this is one of the ways that I lock that in place so that nothing will be removed. So comment below, let me know what your favorite brow product is. I'd love to hear. So another tip is you can go in there with these Mighty Fine brow pens, okay? You can go in there, they look like this. They have like little hairs on there. And you can go in there and just go over the top of that brow again. So you can pick and choose which one of these things will help you the most, but setting it in place with definitely a type of brow pen will definitely help keep them in place throughout the hot and humid days. So now let's just test this. So if I go in here now with this one here where I just put the pencil on and I rub across there, you can see that it took off the brow product from there. Took it basically off the front of it. That's where I have very sprouse brows. So you can see that it just doesn't have a holding power like the one does with the brow gel on it. Now if I go in here, if I rub it, you can see nothing comes off. You can just keep rubbing it and it feels very stiff and secure and in place. It just makes a huge difference. It really does. So I hope you gained some value from this video. My name is Kathleen, and I do create content for mature women who like natural, effortless skincare and makeup, who really just want to look like the best versions of themselves. So if that sounds like you, please consider subscribing. All right, everyone, bye-bye.